The information shared in this content represents the personal views of the author and guests. It does not reflect the opinions, ideas, policies, or views of PBC Punjabi Business Channel or its staff. The content provided is for informational purposes only, and this should not be accorded as a financial advice. The accuracy or completeness of the information presented or accessed through any links is not guaranteed by Punjabi Business Channel or the host. Punjabi Business Channel and the host are not liable for any errors or omissions in the information or for any consequences resulting from its display or use.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਗੁੱਡ ਮਾਰਨਿੰਗ ਭਾਜੀ।
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਭਾਜੀ, ਕੀ ਹਾਲ ਆ ਜੀ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਜੀ, ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਦੇਖਣ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜੀ।
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਭਾਜੀ, ਹੋਰ ਠੀਕ ਹੋ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਵਧੀਆ ਜੀ ਵਧੀਆ
ਜੀ। ਇੱਕ ਭਾਜੀ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਮੇਜਰ ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਆ ਤੇ ਮੇਜਰ ਲਾਈਮਲਾਈਟ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, ਉਹ ਗੱਲ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਭਾਜੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਡੀਲ ਹੋਈ ਆ ਸਾਊਦੀ ਅਰਬੀਆ ਵਾਲੀ ਜਾਂ ਈਰਾਨ ਵਾਲੀ, ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਹੈਗੇ?
Paji, that's an old news. Yeah, yesterday's news. It was a market mover. ਉੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ Boeing ਦੀ ਵੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, almost 200 planes Qatar is buying. You heard that the U.S. president made peace with Syrian leader and took all the sanctions off that country. And so he was really welcomed like a royal in the Middle East. Donald Trump was by the Saudis, and that has made Donald Trump very, very happy. And he's also brought back around $640 million investments to the U.S., including, especially Boeing, which I mentioned, that Qatar is ordering about 200 planes. And Boeing is doing very well this morning. It's sitting at around $207, near its highs in the last couple of months.
ਜੀ। ਉਹ ਭਾਜੀ ਈਰਾਨ ਦੀ ਡੀਲ ਕੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਭਾਜੀ? ਅੱਜ ਈਰਾਨ ਵਾਲੀ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਵੈਸੇ ਮੈਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗਾ ਸੀਗਾ। ਈਰਾਨ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਡੀਲ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅੱਜ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੇਜਰ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਅਪ ਅੱਜ।
So it's basically Donald Trump is negotiating a deal with Iran to, especially with the nuclear weapons and stuff. And he's doing it without Netanyahu. And Netanyahu is also threatening now because Israel is an ally of the U.S. and has been. And U.S. actually been an ally of Israel for a very long time. They've been supporting in every single war. There are a lot of things Netanyahu did not do right. And one of the big ones was in the Gaza Strip. So I think I like what Donald Trump is doing here. If Donald Trump keeps up what he's doing in the last few days, I think it's a good news for the U.S. and around the world. And no president ever has taken steps like this because they always listen to the powerhouses in the U.S. where the powerful people with a lot of money control the government. And this is the first time actually Donald Trump took a steps against them, and that kind of is a good news for the rest of the world for peace.
ਜੀ ਜੀ ਜੀ। ਤੇ ਭਾਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਨਾ ਕਲੈਰਿਟੀ ਤੋਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਆਇਆ ਵੀ ਡੋਨਲਡ ਟਰੰਪ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਕਲੀਅਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ। ਅੱਜ ਉਹਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਸਟੇਟਮੈਂਟ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ। ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਉਹਨੇ ਕੀ ਕਿਹਾ? ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਜੀ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਡ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹ 0% ਟੈਰਿਫ ਤੇ ਚੱਲੂਗਾ, ਬਟ ਨਾਲ ਦੀ ਨਾਲ ਉਹਨੇ ਐਪਲ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਜੀ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੰਡੀਆ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਨੂਫੈਕਚਰਿੰਗ ਕਰੋ।
Look, in China, they're getting a little bit out of China. Jab the tariff lage sige, the Apple move was moving into India already because they still got to manufacture cheap phones. That's the only way they're going to sell the phones for $1,800 if they're going to get them cheap. In the U.S., the rate of making the phone is going to go up. They said they're going to sell an iPhone for $3,800. And I don't think anybody's going to pay $3,800 for an iPhone. So they have to move their manufacturing base, and that's into the India. But what Donald Trump did was he had a phone call with Tim Cook yesterday, and he mentioned that phone call that he basically told, hey, you got to bring your manufacturing back to the U.S. But I don't think Apple can, and a lot of the other companies going to have to be honest with Donald Trump. They are not going to find the cheap labor they're finding in India and in China. And the factories are already set up there. By the time you move your manufacturing to the US, it's going to cost you a lot of money just to put the factories up.
ਜੀ 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 ਬਾਕੀ ਭਾਜੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਇੱਧਰ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੋਈ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੰਟਰੈਕਟਸ ਹੋਣਗੇ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਡੀਲਸ ਹੋਣਗੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਲੌਂਗ ਟਰਮ ਕੰਟਰੈਕਟਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੰਨੇ ਹੋਣਗੇ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੀਤੇ ਹੋਣਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਡਰਾਬੈਕ ਆਊਗਾ ਨਾ ਐਪਲ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ 20 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਡੀਲ ਆ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ 25 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਡੀਲ ਹੈ ਜੇ ਚਾਈਨਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਜਾਂ US ਆਪਣੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਲਾ ਲਈਏ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਬਹੁਤ ਇੰਪੈਕਟ ਕਰੂਗੀ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼
ਨਹੀਂ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਲੌਂਗ ਟਰਮ ਲਈ ਤਾਂ ਇੰਪੈਕਟ ਕਰੂਗੀ ਪਰ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅੱਜ ਅਫੈਕਟ ਹੋਣੀ ਆ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ I think we should talk about more like the data that came out this morning. We have the retail data come out. We should be looking at the market, what direction the market's going to go this morning. So I'm going to talk about a little bit of core PPI numbers that came out this morning. ਜਿਹੜੇ numbers ਗਏ ਆਣੇ ਸੀਗੇ at 0.3 ਆਣੇ ਸੀ plus ਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ actually negative 0.4 ਆਏ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ so that's to the basically to the down ਜਿਹੜੀ inflation ਆ that's saying inflation is going down ਇਹਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ Jerome Powell can raise rates and the CPI numbers we ਦੇਖਿਆ on Tuesday morning and that number was down as well and that also indicated that interest rates could come down and this is what is meant by Donald Trump when he says that the interest rate should come down and that's why Jerome Powell is always late. So I can agree with his statement this morning and looking at these PPI numbers and looking at the CPI numbers, the interest rate should come down according to that. Also, we got the retail sales numbers up. They were up slightly 0.1%, but not a big number. The last time the retail numbers came out last month was 1.4. So this time they came out to 0.1, which was much lower. People are spending less money because they have less money to, the inflation is still there due to these tariffs. And plus we had the unemployment number come out as well. This is a weekly number. Every week comes out how many people actually applied for unemployment. The number was 229K and the forecast number was 229. And the third, we also had Empire State Manufacturing number come out, which was less than the negative 8.2, came at minus 9.2. So manufacturing is a little bit in the US is going down to the downside as well. And then one more news at 8:40, we actually had Jerome Powell talking, and I was listening to him. I put some comments in the chat, our chat. Jerome Powell talked about the PCE number. That's another inflation gauge that Jerome Powell looks at. That's sitting at 2.2%. So for April, and what basically I think he meant a little bit is that we could see, I think he said in a little bit in the background that I read that maybe possibly we'll get interest rate cuts, not next month, maybe the following months. So let's see what happens. I think this could be start off interest rates going to the downside. This could lead to good investments like in the housing market in the US, stocks like DHI, PHM, these home builders. So look for those stocks to pop to the upside. And we see the 10-year also going to the down this morning a little bit. It's sitting at 4.49 and it's down basically 0.04 of basis to the downside. Anyway.
ਭਾਈ ਮੈਂ ਕੋ ਪੁੱਛ ਰਿਹਾ ਦੱਸ ਰਿਹਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਟਰੰਪ ਵੀ ਇਨਵੈਸਟਰ ਟੂ ਲੇਟ ਤੇ ਜੇ ਹੁਣ ਵੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਡਾਟਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ੋ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਵੀ ਜੇ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੁਣ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹ ਰੇਟ ਕੱਟ ਕਰਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਸਿੱਧੀ ਪਰਸਨਲ ਟਸਲ ਹੋਊਗੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ
look I can understand the Feds are always late because they're so much data dependent. They want to see the data go to the in the direction where they're going to raise or lower the interest rates. So ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ fault ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਬਈ Jerome Powell is always late, but one of the things he should understand, Jerome Powell now, is what direction the data is going, and that's telling us since January. It's not just 1 month, it's not 2 months. This is like a third, fourth, and the fifth month that's coming out. The U.S. economy is weakening, and when the U.S. economy is weakening, I think he should have cut interest rates on the last meeting by a quarter point. So I think I still think he should do it in the next meeting. So whether he's going to do it or not, I don't think he's going to do it, but he should.
ਜੀ। ਤੇ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਭਾਜੀ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਦੇਖ ਲਈਏ, ਚੈੱਕ ਲੈ ਲਈਏ ਕੀ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ।
Yeah, so let's take a look at the ES futures. So we're looking at, let's share the window here. So we're looking at the ES futures here. If you see it on your screen here, ES is sitting at around 56.91 there. Can we share the screen, buddy? Buddy,
ਇੱਕ
screen
ਮਿੰਟ
share ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ 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 ਸ਼ੋਰ ਸੌਰੀ।
Yeah.
ਹਾਂਜੀ
So we're looking at the screen which is ES futures. You can see market ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ 21% ਜਿਹੜੀ ਡ੍ਰੌਪ ਹੋਈ ਸੀਗੀ ਕਾਫੀ ਥੱਲੇ ਆ ਕੇ, ਤਾਂ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਇੱਥੇ 10% correction ਸੀ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਦਾ, ਉਹ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਚਲ ਗਏ। We are only about 3%, less than 3% away from the market being at all time high. So ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾਊਗੀ ਇੰਨੀ ਛੇਤੀ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਵੀ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਕੈਟਲਿਸਟ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੁਣ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਪੁਸ਼ ਕਰਨੇ ਨੂੰ ਉੱਪਰ। ਪਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਥੋੜੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਸਾਈਡਵੇਜ਼ ਨੂੰ, ਜਦ ਤੱਕ ਕੋਈ ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਉਹ ਤੱਕ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਬਹੁਤੀ ਹਿੱਲਣੇ ਵਾਲੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ, ਨਾ ਉੱਪਰ ਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਥੱਲੇ ਨੂੰ। ਸੋ ਬੇਸਿਕਲੀ ਵੀ ਕੁਡ ਸੀ ਦ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਗੋਇੰਗ ਟੂ ਦ ਸਾਈਡ sideways. So you can see the market dropped while Donald Trump was raising tariffs and he was talking about tariffs. But now, since he's taken off a lot of the tariffs, look what the market has been doing to the upside. So market has really done well. Next, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੇਰੀ ਸੋਚ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਮੇਜਰ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਮੂਵ ਹੋਣਾ ਸਟਾਕ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਉਹ ਹੋਣਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਮਤਲਬ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਜੌਬਸ ਨੰਬਰਸ ਆਉਣੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਨਾਨ ਫਾਰਮ ਪੇਰੋਲ ਆਉਣੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਾਂਗੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਬਣਦਾ। ਸੋ ਲੈਟਸ ਸੀ ਵਾਟ ਹੈਪਨਸ। ਭਾਜੀ is it on YouTube? I don't think it's on YouTube. I don't think it's running the show. Is it?
ਇੱਕ ਮਿੰਟ ਭਾਜੀ।
No,
ਲਾਈਵ ਤੇ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ।
sorry, it is running. It is running now.
ਓਕੇ ਭਾਜੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਟੈਕਨੀਕਲੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਇੰਨਾ ਪਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਬਟ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਪੰਗਾ ਨਾ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ।
I don't think it was running. I was looking at it. It actually started 11 minutes ago. Okay. Anyways, sorry about that.
ਚੱਲ ਗਿਆ ਭਾਜੀ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ, I wasn't sure it was running. I couldn't see it on the YouTube because we like to see a lot of the comments that come out, and I wasn't seeing a lot of.
ਇਹ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਭਾਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਹੀ ਆਇਆ, ਮਤਲਬ ਜੇ ਲਾਈਵ ਹੋਇਆ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੋਲੇ ਆਇਆ ਤਾਂ ਹੈ ਨਾ।
That's why ਭਾਜੀ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ
ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ ਨਾ ਭਾਜੀ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਸੋਚ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ 7 ਵਜੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਕੱਲ ਗੁਰਮੀਤ ਭਾਜੀ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ, ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ 7 ਵਜੇ ਕਰ ਲਈਏ। ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਹੈਗਾ ਟ੍ਰੇਡ ਲੈਣ ਦਾ, ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਟਾਈਮਿੰਗ ਦਾ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਆਪਾਂ ਲੇਟ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ, ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਸੋਚ ਰਿਹਾ ਵੀ 7 ਵਜੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ, ਜਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ 7 ਵਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਕਰੀਏ, ਤੁਸੀਂ 7:30 ਵਜੇ ਜੁਆਇਨ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਕਰੋ, ਇਹ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ?
ਨਹੀਂ ਭਾਜੀ, ਆਪਣਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਹੈਗਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਟ੍ਰੇਡਿੰਗ ਦਾ, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਹੈਗਾ ਈਵਨਿੰਗ ਟਾਈਮ ਦਾ, ਸਾਡਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਇੱਥੇ ਟ੍ਰੇਡਿੰਗ ਦਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੁੰਦਾ। ਸੋ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਥੋੜੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਇੱਥੇ ਦਾ।
ਚਲੋ ਭਾਜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਚਲੋ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਹਫਤਾ ਟੈਸਟ ਆਊਟ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਲੋਕ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰੋ, ਜੇ ਨਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਸ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਆਇਆ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਵੇਖ ਲਾਂਗੇ ਉਸ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ।
ਨਹੀਂ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਸ ਤਾਂ ਆਊਗਾ, ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ, ਰਿਸਪੌਂਸ ਆਊਗਾ, ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ਟ ਡਾਊਨ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਇਹ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਲੱਗੂਗਾ ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਆਉਣੇ ਦਾ। ਸੋ ਇੱਕ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਬੇਸਿਕਲੀ ਕੰਸਿਸਟੈਂਸੀ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਫਾਲੋਅਰਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਵੀ ਯੈਸ ਅੱਜ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਣਾ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਆ, ਯੈਸ ਇਹ ਕੰਸਿਸਟੈਂਸੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਓਵਰਆਲ। ਸੋ as long as we can do consistency, I think there will be people watching the show.
ਚਲੋ ਫਿਰ ਭਾਜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਚਲਾਉਣੇ ਆ, ਮਹੀਨਾ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਆ ਕੀ ਬਣਦਾ ਨਾ, ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ
ਨਹੀਂ ਮਹੀਨਾ ਚਲਾਉਣਾ।
ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਮਤਲਬ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ, ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ ਵਾਚ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਇਹਦੇ ਤੇ YouTube ਵਗੈਰਾ ਤੇ, ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰੋ। ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਇਸੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਹੀ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਇਹ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ। ਤਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਉਹੀ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਟਾਈਮਿੰਗ ਦਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ ਵੀ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਟਾਈਮਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਨਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਕਿਤੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਥੋੜੀ ਕਨਫਿਊਜ਼ਨ ਹੋਵੇ ਵੀ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ 7 ਵਜੇ ਜਾਂ ਕੁਛ।
ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਪਤਾ ਕੀ ਹੈ, ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਇੰਟਰਪਟ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਫਿਰ ਟਾਈਮ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੁਣ। I think they'll be back slowly. Everybody will be back, but just needs to give it a time a little bit. I think we still got many people ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਫੋਲੋ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, they're coming back slowly. So I think they'll be back. Anyway, let's go with the market. So where the market is going, ES futures ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਗੱਲ ਦੱਸੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, it's going to go sideways for a little while till we get any sort of major news come out. And what about the Nasdaq? Looking at the Nasdaq, same thing. It's not doing very well today anyway. But again, at the long run, still looking at this market to go higher, possibly break above here. If it breaks above the 423 points here, we could see the NQ1 to the upside. And if we went below the 21,198, it could go down to the short side. So we are basically been running in a range since this morning around, for this. This is an hourly since yesterday morning or Tuesday morning, actually, you can say, is basically market been going to the sideways. I think the market will continue to go to the sideways like this. If you're waiting for the patiently, if you're waiting for the market to go up, just wait. But I wouldn't be, sort of taking any sort of major action as the market goes sideways.
ਤੇ ਭਾਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਮੈਂ ਪੁੱਛ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਚਾਈਨਾ ਵਾਲੀ ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਈ ਆ ਉਹਦਾ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਕੁ ਇੰਪੈਕਟ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਨੇ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਕੁ ਰਿਐਕਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਯੂਐਸ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਨੇ ਓਡਾ ਵੱਡੀ ਰਿਐਕਸ਼ਨ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਦੇਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਸੀ ਨਾ
Which one you're talking about? ਕਿਹੜੀ ਚਾਈਨੀਜ਼
ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਤਲਬ ਚਾਈਨਾ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਹੈ ਵੀ 90 ਦਿਨਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੌਰਟ ਆਊਟ ਹੋਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਗੱਲ ਚੱਲੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਟੈਰਿਫ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਵੀਕ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਟੈਰਿਫ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ there basically are there's 10% on the US side, 30%, 10 and 30% actually. What is the Chinese are charging 10% while the US charging 30%. That is a lot less than 145%. This is only in like agreement verbally. Nothing has been put on the piece of paper yet, and that's what Basant is working on with the Chinese. So this is that's why they're given the next 90 days where there are these tariffs are this low, but it's in the next 90 days that's what's going to determine whether this is what's at the end of the day, what's going to be. I think it's going to be 10% on both sides by the end of the day. But let's see what it comes out in the next 90 days.
ਜੀ ਤਾਂ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਭਾਜੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਟਾਕਸ ਵਾਲੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਮਾਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਜੀ ਸਟਾਕਸ ਅੱਜ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਤਾਂ ਵਾਲਮਾਰਟ ਨੇ
ਵਾਲਮਾਰਟ ਭਾਜੀ ਵਾਲਮਾਰਟ ਦੀ ਅਰਨਿੰਗਸ ਆਈਆਂ ਅੱਜ ਸਵੇਰੇ let's talk about Walmart, guys. Walmart's the price went up as soon as the earnings were good on the Walmart. The stock kind of broke out to the upside. They earnings per share was good. This is not much a number. Look at this company like Walmart, $165 billion in a quarterly revenue. That is huge. And if you take a look at the combined all 4 quarters, this company is humongous. Right, but what Walmart is saying this morning after the stock went to the upside with good earnings, the problem became when the CEO said all these tariffs that are being put on China and all this little more expensive stuff that's coming out, they no longer can hold that price lower. They need to pass that on to the consumer. So if they pass those prices on to the consumer, the price the material or whatever the shelving is going to go up, and that is going to create inflation. So that's why the stock went like over $100 and now it's sitting around 99.56. I see a further downside on those comments on Walmart. So I think Walmart is headed a little more to the downside. Those were the earnings on Walmart.
जी
ਤਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ earnings ਹੈਗੀਆਂ
ਜੀ ਸਿਸਕੋ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਵੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਜੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਅਰਨਿੰਗਸ ਆਈਆਂ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਫੋਰਕਾਸਟ ਆਫ ਦਾ ਰਾਈਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਜੀ
So Cisco came out, CSCO is their ticker. Let's take a look at the chart. They came out with earnings yesterday. So they were good and the market did go up. They actually give a good guidance to the upside. So we're looking at the pennies 0.04 and looking at the revenue of 101 million. So they beat it by 101 million, over 14 billion in revenue. So very good on this company, Cisco. I think if you look at basically the data, these numbers are pretty good for the stock. So I think it's undervalued. compared to what the fundamentals are. And if you look at the stock, it's been really going to the upside. And this is the hourly chart, and they give a good guidance. I think they will continue. Take a look at it on the daily chart. It's trying to break above here. So unless it breaks above here, $61, $62, that's where I would be a buyer. But it's already in the pre-market around $63. So it's already kind of breaking out to the upside, going higher range. So with those earnings, I think it will continue going higher. It's up. This is a very good stock. So anyway, there's some more earnings that came out this morning as well. The Deere company, everybody knows Deere. They make those heavy machinery for construction. Their ticker is DE. Let's take a look at them.
ਭਾਜੀ ਇੱਧਰ ਨਾ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਆ ਉਧਰੋਂ ਮੈਂ YouTube ਤੇ ਚੈੱਕ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਕਮੈਂਟਸ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਾਫੀ ਆਏ ਹੋਏ ਆ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਠੀਕ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਜਾਨੂੰ ਆ ਸਟਾਕ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਲੈਣੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਡੀਅਰ ਦੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ
earnings came out and they beat handily $6.64 on earnings per share to the upside, and same thing with the revenue, and the stock is up this morning. It's looked like breaking to the new highs above $515. Look like it's taking off. I think this is again, it's breaking out to the all-time high to the upside. So $515. Looking at on Deere, I'm looking at other ones that have come out. Anything Merck, actually, this is a pharmaceutical company, Merck. They came out with earnings. So let's take a look at them, see what they're doing this morning. They're to the downside. They did beat what exactly Merck did. Actually, they were short by 12 cents. So this is a German company. Actually, Merck on the German part. Their earnings actually came out a couple of weeks ago. They were beat. But these are Germany Merck that came out with earnings this morning. So that's what I'm looking at. So let's take a look at what else is coming out this morning. Too Interactive. They're coming out actually at the end of the day. So these earnings are coming out at the end of the day. So those are the stocks that have earnings this morning. Let's talk about some of the stocks that I'm looking at. Paji, let's take a look at CNR. CNR is nicely to the upside, breaking around the 148, 100. I have a target around 150 on this stock. I know a lot of people following me who own this stock. So can it get above 150? I think it can. I think this stock eventually will reach about $170, $175. It's currently 148. We bought lots of stock back here, $132, $133, and I'm still holding. And I have at least a price target of 150 on this one. Okay. So the other stocks that may want to talk about is NTR. NTR, it touched $80. I think this is $100 stocks if anybody's looking for it. I'm still holding personally. My average is around $64, way below there. But I'm like, I'm always looking for a cheap stock. But if it continues to the upside, NTR is not a bad ways to go to the upside. So also the next one is also CNQ. We can talk about CNQ. This is a Canadian Natural Resources. And I'm looking for this to break above 45.38. If it can break out nicely to the upside, this can have a nice run. These guys produce heavy oil, we know, in Western Canada, and they also pay a good dividend as well. So if you look at the financially dividend as well, it's sitting at over 5%. So that is pretty good. And the numbers, if you look at statistics, these numbers are incredible, undervalued. So that's why I think this stock can run to maybe a $50 level way up here. So those are some of the stocks that I follow. There's many other ones. I can keep talking about stocks all even morning. But anyway, Paji, anything else?
Paji, Foot Locker देख लो 80% up Paji आज.
Foot Locker is getting bought out. There's a rumor that Dick's Sporting is buying out. Let's look at Dick's Sporting is actually down this morning. Why? Because they are buying out Foot Locker. I don't know why they're buying out Foot Locker, because Dick's Sporting Goods and the Foot Locker is very similar space. But Dick's Sporting Goods is a better store. I've been to it a couple of times in the U.S. where I think their quality of their clothing, shoes, everything they sell in there pretty good. But Foot Locker is a franchise that's going to the downside. So I really don't understand why a company like this would buy Foot Locker. Okay, so I don't agree with it, and look at the shareholders; they don't agree with that either. So Dick's Sporting Store was trading at $209 yesterday. It's trading at $181 today. So it's almost down what, $30. So the shareholders don't agree with it either. So that's not a very good deal. So I would not buy. I would not be buying Dick's Sporting Good based on that, because they're buying Foot Locker. They're buying a franchise that was going to the downside. So if you look at Foot Locker, their ticker is. Let me see what the ticker is on Foot Locker. Foot Locker is Foot, Foot. And if you look at they're actually going up. So they were around the $12 range, and now they're around the 20. I think they're paying, I don't know, $22 or $23. I can't remember what they're paying for this company, but they're gone up. And this is a dying franchise. Look at the chart on this one. Excuse me, I don't know why they're buying this one. So no idea.
ਇੱਕ ਭਾਜੀ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਆਇਆ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ, ਉਹ ਪੁੱਛ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਹੋਲਡ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਬੈਲ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ BCE, ਤੇ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਹੋਲਡ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਹਜੇ, ਕਿ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਡਿਵੀਡੈਂਡ ਵੀ ਕੱਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੁਣ?
Rana ji ne pucha hai. Yes, I'm still holding Bell Canada. I'm also holding Telus as well, and BCE cut its dividend half off. We knew this was coming, and they did it. I think this is going to make the company stronger. They also said they are concentrating more on paying off the debt. I think this is a good thing for Bell Canada. I think long run, I think Bell Canada could be nicely. I think $30 is a very cheap price for Bell Canada, but I like to see their debt going down in the next couple of quarters to keep holding on. So I am holding on to Bell Canada still, and I added a little bit of it last week, but again, I might add some more, or maybe just get totally out of it, depending on if they're not cutting their debt back.
ਜੀ ਭਾਜੀ, ਤੇ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਲਦੀ ਕਰ ਲੈਣੇ ਜੀ ਕਮੈਂਟਸ। ਇੱਕ CRDA ਹੈਗਾ ਜੀ ਸਟਾਕ, CRDA।
Okay, this is a new. A lot of people are following this one here. CRDA. Is it VE? CRVE? Oh, I know this one because this is a new company here, a new IPO. What's the ticker on? I can't remember the ticker on it. I just was looking at it the other day. It's CoreVive. That's the name of the company, I think. CoreVive. Yeah. CB. I think you're talking about Kia tickers. CRWIV. I think he's frozen. Okay. CoreVive. I think they're talking about this one. So if you guys are talking about this company here, it's a new IPO. They had great earnings where the stock kind of pumped to the upside. They don't care about the earnings per share because this is a new company, even though this is a negative. And the revenue was really good, 124 million, surprise to the upside. So this is a new company boosting to the upside, and I don't like to, especially suggestion buy on a new companies like this one, but they did beat the earnings per share. But I think it's again, I like to have a history. I like to see the numbers on it before I like to see the breakout on this one here stock. So again, it just right now it's expensive, and I don't know exactly if it can keep up the numbers. But again, it's a new stock, but I don't like to stat. But as long as it keeps running up, yeah, definitely buy it. But keep a short lease on it.
ਨੈਕਸਟ ਭਾਜੀ ਪੈਪਸੀ ਬਾਰੇ ਤੇ ਕੋਕ ਬਾਰੇ ਇਕੱਠਾ ਹੀ ਲੈ ਲਓ ਭਾਜੀ, ਪੈਪਸੀ ਤੇ ਕੋਕ ਦੇ ਦੋ ਆਏ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ। ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਪੈਪਸੀ ਬਾਰੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਦੱਸਿਓ ਜੀ, ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਕ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਆਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ। ਕੋਕ
So
ਕਿਉਂ ਡਾਊਨ ਹੈ? ਪੈਪਸੀ ਤੇ ਕੋਕ ਦੋਨੇ?
Pepsi is going down to the downside right now. I would not be right now buyer of Pepsi. Even though I am buying, I don't suggest it to any new people because I'm averaging down on this stock. Okay, that's why I don't suggest for you. But if you want to buy the stock, you can buy it. It's very fundamentally good stock. But I think for long term, I'm buying this stock as it coming down. I'm accumulating this stock. I don't know when it'll turn around back to the upside, but the stock is has a very strong trend to the downside right now. So if you want to buy this stock, wait till it, like I always say, let it consolidate and let it turn around to the upside, then buy it. But I like Pepsi. I like the numbers. They only missed like earnings per share by 0.008. Okay. So again, that is not much of a miss. I like the stock. I like the earnings. I like the revenue.
Next,
I like what they're a well-diversified company, and they're good for long term. I think if you want to accumulate, but just wait patiently. But I am buying, just to let you know. Paji freeze ho gaya phir lagda. So anyways, let's talk about the next stock. Let's talk about Uber, guys. This is another of my favorite stocks. If you have Uber, it's breaking out above the $90 area. I have $100 above target on Uber. And I bought this stock around $32, $22 range. I'm still holding my long-term position, and I'm going to be holding it for a while. The cash flow is amazing on this company. What they're producing out there. They're in every part of the world, basically. What do they need? The only cost is their platform, and whatever the driver's cost is their car, right? So this company is making a tremendous amount of money everywhere around the world, and Uber is heading to the higher side as well. The other one is Disney is also heading to the upside. I still think Disney is a buy. We bought a lot of people that are with us have bought a lot of it around the $85 range. I was basically telling anybody that have kids is buy themselves Disney stock right down here. Why? Because Disney is for kids. They want to go to the Disney World, and it also helps kids start following the market as well. And if they start looking up their stock every single day, they will learn the financial news as well to the upside. So definitely buy Disney. It has a nice run up right now, $112 from $85, but I think it can continue to the upside. I'm looking at like $140 target eventually on Disney.
ਜੀ ਭਾਜੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਥੋੜੀ ਕਨਫਿਊਜ਼ਨ ਆ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਲਾਈਵ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ। ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਦਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਨਾ ਵਾਈਂਡ ਅਪ ਕਰਦੇ ਅੱਜ ਸ਼ੋਅ।
ਚਲੋ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ, ਓਕੇ ਭਾਜੀ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ।
ਹਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਨਾ ਇਹ ਜੇ ਮਤਲਬ ਨਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਉਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਪਾ ਦਾਂਗੇ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਟਾਈਪ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ।
Sorry guys, I don't think the show is
ਉਧਰੋਂ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਨਹੀਂ
I think ਨਹੀਂ ਰਨ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ। 42 ਲੋਕ 42 ਬੰਦੇ ਦੇਖਣ ਲੱਗੇ ਆ। Look, I think sorry about this show today, guys. I think it's been just a disaster from the start a little bit here. So sorry about that. Maybe we'll come back with a better video maybe tomorrow, hopefully. Really like to apologize. I think this was didn't work out really nicely today. So I would say basically we'll start tomorrow morning, but maybe hopefully with some better video. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. I really like to apologize. We'll bring a better show tomorrow. So thank you.
Thank you.